Margaret Kuhlman of Soul Astrology. This is the second new moon in Cancer this year. The first one, as you will know, is on the solstice, in the very first degree, like being dropped in the swimming pool at the deep end, hoping that you will learn to swim in the process of being in the water being the ocean of human emotions. So we've had the whole of the last month with the sun moving through Cancer. And even before that, at the end of May, Mercury moved into Cancer, and Mercury rules our mind, the way our minds work and our communications. So we've really been dealing with emotions, emotional reactions. It's where you act according to how you feel before you've thought. The first 10 degrees is being in the womb of emotion, where one discovers what they are by feeling them. The middle section of Cancer is more where hopefully some consciousness that we are not our emotions kicks in, and then we can start seeing if we can do something about them. And the third section, the last 10 degrees of Cancer, is where we've hopefully gained a measure of understanding and mastery, so that we are able to move in emotional situations, assisting other people. And this is where this new moon is. During this period of Mercury being in Cancer, it did spend 21 days or so retrograde. So lots of causes of old emotional stuff would have re-risen, and lots of blame and guilt rising from the past and so on. And where Mercury is just now, and at this new moon, it's about to square Chiron for the third time, and Mars just in the next few days. So this is our opportunity to put to rights whatever has risen in the last few weeks. Thinking of the situation of lockdown and distancing and all of this, it could be that we are actually finding ourselves more in touch with the potential damage that's happening through these fear-driven reactions. So a lot of frustration and anger is likely to be around, the human sea sending its waves through our systems. We may find ourselves furious in passing and then settle back into however we were before. What we are likely to want to defend is our autonomy, our individuality, a feeling of having one's importance in one's own life pushed to one side. But in this situation there is such confusion as to which is the best way to go. So the frustration is also about not knowing what's right and not trusting the authorities. In fact, the new moon is exactly opposite Saturn, and there needs to be trust in authority, or otherwise rules and regulations just become another way of feeling anxious. Trust is ruled by Neptune, and Neptune's making a very lovely connection to Jupiter and Pluto. Jupiter will be going back, sextiling the Neptune, and then coming forwards again. It's as though that our understanding on the material level has a chance to reintroduce some trust in us. As we go through the first half of this month, Mercury will be making connection with Neptune, and this is where I think we do come to a better understanding perhaps of what's right for us as individuals and what's right for us all. We do need space, but physical space for human beings can be damaging, especially when enforced. There is a kind of physical loneliness that can build up, that eats away at our sense of personal value. And the fear that is going along with this also undermines the immune system, putting our physical bodies more at risk. This is not a healthy situation for anybody. And so here we focus on the emotions, our reactions. There is a desperate need in the entire situation for a transformation in the way we live. So whatever has to happen, we need to be able to adapt as we go along. Emotional reactions can get in the way of our adapting. It is important to recognize what it is that we feel and perhaps to express it, but not as a battle. And with Mars going through Aries, frustration, anger can so easily become battles. Nobody wins. As we get to the full moon, so from the beginning of August really, we find that Mercury is taking that position of opposition to Saturn, so more understanding of what is actually required, rather than just following rules. And Venus takes her place on the North Node in Gemini, encouraging warm and friendly and kindly communication of whatever is necessary. With that quincunx for Saturn, what is necessary is what helps, is what makes people feel better deep in themselves, not just superficially. So with kindness and with sensitivity, we can go forwards with whatever situation we find ourselves in. The full moon will be in Aquarius, opposite to the Leo sun, and both of them square Uranus, which is very much an encouragement for us to have our personal views, our own choices. The sun trines Chiron from the warmth of Leo, individuals expressing their individuality and taking care of those who need, in spite of rules of separation. Emotions flow like water. We are not taken over by them. They flow through. If we get stuck with one, it's not that it's washing us along, it's that we're holding on to the attitude that keeps it continually reworking itself, re-arising. The natural thing to do is to allow them to flow through, to allow them to be whatever they are at the time, and to notice that that's the case. So once we know what we're feeling, recognize and allow that that's how it is, we are in a position to stop being completely mentally engaged in it. We need to stop. If you allow a feeling to remain, whatever you think about will have that flavour in it. So if you're feeling hopeless, everything you think about becomes part of that hopelessness. If you're feeling angry, everything makes you irritable and angry. So we have to stop somehow and come back to a sense of stability within ourselves. I try never to make decisions when my mood is low, because I know that my decision is infected with that mood and I will probably regret it. Also, my vision is quite limited when I'm in a low state of mind. I think the best way to stop is to be present, to breathe into the moment, to recognize what all your senses are picking up. The feel of whatever it is you're sitting on, or your clothes on your body, the things you can see and hear, even the taste in your mouth. And to feel the reality of the life in yourself and your relationship with the things that surround you, in distance and in effect, and in their own being, how they are. without any criticism or judgment, without words, if possible, just being. The emotional sea settles down. And then think of something that you are about to do, something that you can achieve in the moment, maybe getting your next meal together. Whatever it is, allow your emotions to rise naturally from what it is you do, rather than coming from thoughts that disturb you. It's very important not to spend too much time with one's mind engaged in stuff that creates negative or heavy emotion. This is our time for practicing feeling emotions going through without identifying with them, pausing before action. And as Mars will continue in Aries for another few months, this is very good practice time. We will be glad of any practice we put in early for our ability to manage as we continue through. I've put more in my letter on the website, showing how the planets are connected in. What we call the emotional world is where we access all the psychic abilities, empathy, sensitivity and so on. And also, as we expand and become calm, it's where we access our spiritual level through the finer emotions of love and joy and compassion. And from that perspective, we know these changes need to happen. We don't know how. We can't judge which are right and which are not. We need to trust. And from this greater perspective, we can trust the support of the unseen world, the movement of light and love, the holding, the care, the tenderness of the spiritual flow. Dear ones, welcome to the present. Life will present you with exactly what you need next. You may not recognize it from the grass roots, but allow your vision to rise into your greater self, and what you see will rejoice your soul. All that is needful is given. All that is outdated falls away. This is not a time to cry for the past. The future opens to a new vista. Be patient with your companion's fear. It is not yours. The gift to you is the deeper joy hidden in each moment, where you seem to be alone only until you realize you are one with all that is.